Oh my gosh. Hey, Crazy Dre Podcast.
Oh, welcome to the Crazy Dre Podcast Show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is main man, aka Crazy Crockett, aka Andres Podcast. Folks, I am back. I'm doing some MLB baseball today. It's been difficult to do MLB when you work on a different shift than you want to, but it is what it is. Detroit Tigers took on Kansas City Chiefs in Comerica Park. Casey Mize on the mound against Seth Lugo of Kansas City. Uh, Detroit's looking good. I will say that Casey Mize looks really good. He only had 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, gave up a home run. ERA is now at 2.22. First game of this 2025 season that he's pitched over 6 innings. It's been almost 2.5 years since he's pitched into the 7th inning. I think AJ Hinge noted that he didn't want Casey Mize to pitch over 6 innings. I mean, going into the 7th inning last year, just because of his coming back from injuries. I forgot about his back injury along with Tommy John surgery injury. But Casey Mize is looking great. I will talk about a little bit. I'm going to start talking about, as long as I'm talking about him, Casey Mize, he threw 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. As the 1 run is a home run in I think the 6th inning or something. I'll get to that in a minute. 88 pitches, 63 strikeouts, just over under 72, 71%. He was looking good. He was looking like he was where he was supposed to be. It's important to have him on the team as a starter. I like the fact, now I have to come to think about it, I like the fact that he's the 5th guy on the rotation. It's kind of a way to protect, to me, in my opinion, protect Tarek Skubal. If you take Jackson Jobe into the 5th man rotation and then flip flop Casey Mize in the 4th. If, let's say, Detroit has a 2-game losing streak with Casey Mize and Jobe, it's going to put a lot more pressure on Tarek Skubal to win a game. Where if you get Jackson Jobe, who's technically a rookie pitcher, he did come up last year as a some type of relief pitcher for Detroit, but it just works better for Casey Mize. So if Jackson Jobe has a bad outing, Casey Mize, as a veteran now, which is kind of crazy to say this, as a veteran for him, it's just better for him to be the 5th pitcher. If Jobe has a bad day, Casey Mize can come back. Even if we lose or win or it's a close game, it won't put so much pressure on Tarek Skubal to be pitching 120%, over 100% ratio, if you get what I mean. So Tarek Skubal doesn't try so hard or doesn't need to try so hard. Going back up here on Detroit Tigers lineup, AJ Hinge always changes his lineups. He's got things rotating back and forth. I find it interesting. You got Kerry Carpenter in left field, leading off, Torkelson in first base, McKinstry at right field, Green as the DH. I do find interesting 2 things before I go on to the rest of the lineup. First, I find it interesting that Kerry Carpenter is the leadoff hitter for Detroit. I don't know who I would put up there. Maybe Ibanez, but Ibanez would be taking the spot for Colt Keith. But then you have Torgerson in the 2nd spot, which is another kind of curious thing that I don't really understand either. He's playing first base. I feel like he should be the 3rd or 4th hitter. McKinstry is the 3rd hitter. He's protecting. They say he's protecting Riley Green in the cleanup spot and maybe protecting Torkelson in the 2nd spot, which I don't understand that at all as a baseball guy. I've heard the Detroit Tigers analysts talk about that. Even Dan Petrie kind of made a point to that. Uh, Riley Green just came off a slump of, let's say, 0 for 20 a couple days ago. He went for, I think he scored 3 runs a couple nights ago in the win over the Royals, 7-3 in 7-1 or something like, and that win a couple games ago. So he's out of the slump, hopefully. Dillinger is the catcher. He's the fifth guy up. Colt Keith, he's still struggling. For some reason, we all know that Colt Keith will struggle in the beginning of the year, even though this is his only, technically, his second year as a baseball player, full time baseball player. I think he'll figure it out. Um, and it helps out that he has someone like Torkelson to look up to. Uh, Torkelson had a struggle last year. Obviously, everyone thought that we was just going to get rid of him. Even I thought maybe we could have. Maybe this is the end of the road for Torkelson last year, but it's helpful to have Torkelson on the team, showing Colt Keith to be patient, to be diligent. It sounds like Colt Keith is a very mature baseball player, uh, sticking to his game plan, learning how to bat in the majors. Um, Abanya is at second, and then we got Abanya is he's not at second. Colt Keith at second, but he was a pitch hitter coming in for Colt Keith. Sweeney at shortstop. I do think that Sweeney has little issues with his fielding position sometimes. He overthrew the ball to Torkelson a couple times. I'll go through that. Banez got a base hit. Creeler, Creeler, it's I find it interesting. The announcers like him. The announcers think that he's a savior for Detroit's outfielder, for Pat Meadows and Matt Verlin. But I do think that Detroit's going to have to do a move with Creeler if he's not continually hitting the ball. He did. He was at bat 3 times. He struck out twice. But saying that, I mean, I'm not. It's difficult to be that analytical about baseball players because I'm not a baseball player. I'm just a guy that watches baseball, and I love baseball. So I don't want to be kind of like those guys that say, well, they should do this and they should do that. But, that's something that we should consider just talking about. Top of the first, Detroit, India strikes out. That's one of the 3 strikeouts for Casey Mize. It's They seem like he's throwing the ball real well. His body is straight when he releases the ball. As much as I know about pitching, uh, Bobby Witt Jr. This guy is on an 11-game hitting streak. He's unbelievable. He's just one of those guys that I just didn't think of. No one really thought of, but this kid who can really play. Vinny Pascatino, uh, he lined out to Kerry Carpenter, Salvador Perez, the 14-year veteran, kind of like the base of the Kansas City Chiefs baseball team is a solid guy. He struck out. Bottom of the first, Kerry Carpenter flies out. Uh, Spencer Torkelson flies out to make it 2 outs. Zach McKinstry walks. Riley Green flies out. Nothing really to talk about. Second inning, Mikael Garcia flies out. Uh, Michael Massey grounds out to Spencer. Um, and then Drew Waters walks. Drew Waters steals the base. He's probably one of the only few guys in Kansas City that can steal the base pretty well. Don't quote me. Please do not quote me. Freddie Furman grounds out to Sweeney to make 3 outs. Bottom of the second, Dylan Dillinger doubles. Um, this kid's got a good bat. This kid is awesome. I love this kid. This kid is like, not only is he a catcher, and catchers are not necessarily the best hitters, but the fact that he's taking the spot for Jake Rogers right now, and the fact that he's actually doing very, very well. Dillinger is actually batting 302. OPS at .824 is unbelievable. Cole Keith grounds out. Dillinger to third base. Trey Sweeney to first. So basically, you got a man in first and third, and the bottom of the second. Uh, However, Javier Baez, kind of, he's always the guy that either hits the ball real hard or he's ahead of the bat or the ball, and then it dribbles out for a ground out. So basically, this is what happens. He grounds out to Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo, the pitcher, tosses over to the catcher. But I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, I was right. So Seth Lugo throws the ball to home base and he's out. So Dillinger's out. So that's the inning right there for you. Well, I'm sorry. Then Ryan Kreeler grounds out to end the third inning. That made no sense what I was doing right there, folks. This is what happens to do a podcast and you're doing stuff uh, uh, going back and forth on the tablet. Top of the third, Isbo grounds out. India uh, singles to third base. Deflect. Oh yeah, this is something that India got on first base because Casey Mize tried to play a ball that was coming at him or near him, and the ball deflected off his uh, his glove. So basically, uh, India got on base simply because Casey Mize was trying to play defense. There's nothing big deal about it. Casey Mize was just doing something instinctively. However, Baez can throw the ball to first base on time, anyways. Bobby Witt Jr. Grounds out to second base to get India out, but Bobby White makes it to first base. Vinny Pasquito flies out to make it 3 outs. The bottom of the third, Kerry Cumberland grounds out. Still at the bottom of the third, Spencer Torkelson strikes out Swinney. Still in the bottom of the third, Zach McKinstry grounds out to Pasquito and 3 outs. There you go, folks. Top of the fourth, Salvador Perez is up to bat. He grounds out to Trey Sweeney. There's 1 out. Malik Garcia pops out to Dylan Dillinger. Foul ball, obviously, that's what that means. Michael Massey also grounds out. Bottom of the fourth, Riley Green flies out. Dylan Dillinger flies out. Cole Keith strikes out. So, top of the fifth, nothing's really going on in this game, but it's baseball. Baseball is one of those games that you kind of just listen to the announcers, you kind of listen to the game, you just kind of not really daydreaming, but you can just keep up with the game within itself. Top of the fifth, Drew Waters reaches on a throwing error by Trey Sweeney. This is the dilemma that we have with Trey. To me, that this is what we have an issue with. That we may have issues with Trey Sweeney. These errors don't really amount to anything as long as you keep winning these games. But as the season keeps going on, and as if you're in the playoffs or playing the playoff hunt, you may have issues with situations like that when you're only up 2 or 3 games or a game and a half in first place or the wild card, or you try and win the division. But that's kind of what happens. So Drew Waters reaches on a Trey Sweeney error in the top of the fifth. Freddie Furman pops out. Kai Isabel pops out. Jonathan India singles to line drive right into right field, and then Drew Waters to second, so first and second. I think, and then no, that's not what I think. So and then Bobby Witt Jr. lines out to carry company, make 3 outs. Trey Sweeney, bottom of the fifth. Trey Sweeney's up to bat. Uh, he lines out to right field. Harold Baez singles to left field. Ryan Kindler strikes out to make it 2 outs. Kerry Commerce singles, line drive to left field, and then Javier Baez to second, first and second. Home, okay. And then the bottom of the fifth, still, Spencer Torkelson hits a 3-run home run. The ball, I think it was a slider or something that was coming in. He just tucked in his hands in more, and he just kind of like he just basically hit the ball to left center. Complete contact. It was very, very well hit baseball. So going into that, Zach McKinstry singles, and then Riley Green grounds out to second base to make 3 outs. 6th inning, Vinny Pasquillo flies out. Salvador Perez grounds out. Michael Garcia for the Kansas City grounds out. Bottom of the 6th. We have 2 flyouts. Dylan Dillinger flies out along with Trey Sweeney. And then in the middle of the lineup, Cole Keith makes a good, solid connection with the ball, but he lines out to center field. Top of the 7th, Michael Massey lines out to center field. Drew Waters strikes out, swinging. And then Freddie Fermin hits a home run to left center. It was a good pitch. There's nothing really you could do with that. He just made connection with the ball, and it's just that good. So Freddie Fermin makes it 3-1. Detroit lead. A little concerning, a little bit. So Isbell, this is in the top of the 7th. Detroit had an opportunity to challenge a play, and this play was with Kyle Isbell. It looked like he reached first base, and from a throw from Trey Sweeney to first base, and the challenge that AJ Hinch made, it showed that Isbell was out, and that was pretty much the wrap of the 7th, the top of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th, both Javier Baez and Ryan Kreidler strike out. The pitching change happened. Daniel Lynch, the 4th, pitches to Kerry Comforter, pops out to make 3 outs. Brennan Hanfee is your top of the 8th inning Detroit Tigers pitcher. And when he came in, I think he only got a fastball and maybe a slider or something, but he was just throwing fastballs left and right. Jonathan India, he just basically made connections with his ball. His 4th double of the year. So coming up to bat with India to second base, fly out from Bobby Witt. Vinny Pasquillo lines out, and then Salvador Perez flies out to make it 3 outs. But yes, that was basically the only time that Kansas City really was threatened to score. Bottom of the 8th, Spencer Torkelson walks. Zach McKinstry sacrifice bunt to put Spencer to second base. It was a good bump. This is a great bump. Riley Green flies out to make it 2 outs. Dylan Dillinger pops out to make it 3 outs. Pitch and change again. Will Vest replaces Brendan Hanfee. This guy's got a 95, 97 fastball. It sounds like his fastball is better this year than last year. Uh, so let's see here. Um, and then Andy Baez replaces Cole Keith at at uh, at second base. Uh, Maquio Garcia grounds out to make one out. Michael Massey makes it 2 outs for a ground out to second base. Uh, Drew Waters walks. Freddie Freeman singles. This is another threat. So I was wrong. Freddie Freeman singles. Trey Sweeney to this is a play that Trey Sweeney could have made, but again, this is an issue that we may have with Trey Sweeney. Well, I shouldn't really say that because again, I'm not a baseball player. I'm a baseball fan. So we have a man on. Let's see here. So, uh, so we have a man on first and second and third, I think. Pitch runner Tyler Tolbert replaces Freddie Furman. Kyle Isbell pops out to third base to end the inning. And that was basically the wrap, folks. That's the wrap. That's ninth inning wrap. Again, I don't think that was a great podcast or episode, but I take it for what I leave it for as. Detroit Tigers win. They're now 13-8. They're against Kansas City, 8-14. Detroit won the series. They have one more game. Turbo Skubal will be pitching tomorrow, Sunday. So it looks like Tarek Skubal will be pitching against Wacha, right-hand pitcher. He's 0-3 ERA, 4.35, 15 strikeouts. Skubal 2-2, 2.66 ERA, 25 strikeouts. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Detroit Tigers are. Oops, let me just. Detroit Tigers. Let me go back. I'm gonna try to look for the stands for Detroit, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Schedule, tickets, scores, standings. Let's see here. I don't know. I'm gonna be events. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Crazy Dre podcast show. Thank you for listening. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe. That makes no sense. But yeah. So Detroit is 2 games up from Cleveland. They have a 13-8 record. Cleveland's got 10-9. Detroit is 8-1 at home. 5-7 on the road. The difference is plus 25. So I mean, there's nothing you can do with that. Detroit's just looking good, folks. Again, thank you for listening to the podcast. I was messed up towards the end. So peace, love, and cheers.